An old mechanic stood outside a luxury hotel ballroom, holding a neatly wrapped gift and wearing the only suit he owned. Inside, hundreds of guests had gathered for a prestigious scholarship ceremony where his daughter was about to receive an award for graduating at the top of her law school class. He had closed his small garage early that afternoon and driven 3 hours to make it on time. The suit was slightly outdated, and his hands still carried faint marks from decades of fixing engines, but he had cleaned up as best as he could because tonight mattered. At the entrance, a young coordinator stopped him politely and asked for his invitation. The father searched his jacket pocket and admitted he didn't have one, explaining that he was the award recipient's father and had come to see his daughter receive the honor she had worked so hard for. The coordinator checked the list carefully and shook her head. She explained that the event was reserved for donors, sponsors, and invited professionals. Parents who were not on the guest list, unfortunately, could not enter the ballroom. Through the tall glass doors, he could see the stage lights and hear applause as the ceremony began. The man who had worked 18 years under cars, saving every extra dollar so his daughter could attend college and later law school, stepped quietly aside near the wall. He didn't raise his voice or argue with the staff. He simply waited, hoping he might at least catch a glimpse of her from the hallway. A few minutes later, one of the foundation board members walked toward the entrance while speaking on his phone and noticed the older man standing there with the small gift in his hands. When the call ended, he asked if something was wrong. The father smiled politely and said nothing was wrong. He explained that his daughter was receiving an award inside and that he had only wanted to see the moment from the back of the room. The board member paused and asked her name. When he realized which student it was, his expression changed immediately. He walked back into the ballroom and quietly spoke with the event host before taking the microphone for a moment. He told the room that before the ceremony continued, there was someone outside who deserved to be inside far more than any sponsor at the tables. The music stopped and the doors opened. Every guest turned as the board member personally walked the mechanic into the room and placed him in the front row. Then he said something that made the entire room stand up. The law student we're honoring tonight learned justice long before she studied it in school. She learned it from the man who sacrificed everything so she could stand here. The applause this time lasted much longer, because justice isn't only something written in books or argued in courtrooms. Sometimes justice is simply recognizing the person who built the dream. And if you had been sitting in that room, would you have stood up too?